How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to another FPL video. Before we get straight in, I just want to wish absolutely everyone celebrating a happy Diwali. I hope you're having an awesome day, enjoy it, and most importantly, be safe. I've got a kurta on and ready to go out and visit family, but I couldn't leave you hanging without a video for Gameweek 11. And today's team selection isn't a straightforward one. With the appointment of Conte at Tottenham, targeting the likes of Son and Kane for their amazing fixture run now becomes a must, and with that, we have to come up with a transfer strategy to get them in our teams, as well as target other gems currently like Reece James. So let's get started by having a quick look at how the team performed in Game Week 10. Starting in goal, a monster haul by Aaron Ramsdale with 10 points. I know quite a few of you started Foster over him, but for me personally, it was a no-brainer to go for Ramsdale, purely down to me not trusting Watford to keep a clean sheet at all. Foster's in my team as a backup keeper in the event that my number one doesn't feature, and starting Ramsdale while also owning Vardy was kinda like a safety net if Vardy blanked, that I still get something out of that game. In defense, the Chelsea boys came through again for me. I wasn't lucky as the Reece James owners, who had 21 points from him alone, but a double clean sheet is always welcome. Trent and Cancelo disappointed with blanks, yet went on a rampage in the Champions League last night, with Cancelo getting 3 assists and Trent getting 2. Save it for the weekend, lads, please, we need you. In midfield, the King yet again didn't blank. Yeah, he didn't haul, but he had an assist, and a captain that didn't blank is always welcome in my team. Havertz finally did something with an assist himself, and Emil Smith-Rowe came off my bench for Gundogan, who didn't feature at all. So I did get kinda lucky with that, but I did know that I needed my bench this past game week. Up top, Antonio and Vardy didn't do much. Antonio could have had 2 assists, but it wasn't meant to be. And the big thing for me was that Adam Armstrong started a game, and he had an assist in a 1-0 win for Southampton. On the bench, I had Ben Foster with 2 points, Gundogan, who didn't feature at all for Man City, and Valentino Livramento with more bench points yet again. But what can you do with such a good squad? And Douglas Luiz, who had a 0-pointer as well. I finished on 60 points in Game Week 10, and that took me to the 700 points mark, which means I am now averaging 70 points per game week, which is a madness. The aim in Game Week 10 was to get a huge green arrow after dropping from 12k to 29k in Game Week 9, because I didn't captain the King like an idiot. And that's exactly what I did. 60 points meant that I've jumped from 29k to 16k, and the aim is to now push on with another green arrow in Game Week 11 with 2 free transfers available. We'd usually now have a look at my transfer targets and then the team selection with graphics and animation, but in coming up with a decent strategy, and more specifically, a decent transfer strategy, I feel it's best to tinker and plan on the official FPL website. So let's scrap the graphics and move over to the website. So this is the team which you've just seen, and the first thing that I like to do before making any transfers for any game week is setting up my bus team for the next game week. And if you don't know what a bus team is by now, what are you even doing? So a bus team is essentially in the event that you get hit by a bus and you haven't set your team yet. So by creating your team is now set for the next game week without you having to do anything. And I'm sure quite a lot of you do miss the deadline from time to time. Like this game week deadline will be on Friday, which will catch out quite a lot of people, which is always good practice to create and set your bus team the previous game week. Well, I mean straight after the previous game week's deadline. So I haven't set mine yet, but I'm the type of FPL manager that just doesn't miss a deadline. So let's set that team now before making any transfer or thinking of any transfer for the game week. And what I quite like here is that with 2 free transfers available, I don't even feel like I need to use one this game week. But I want to get the likes of Son and Kane in eventually, and by eventually I mean Game Week 12. So I need to come up with a transfer strategy to get them both into my team. Now let's set up the bus team, and the first move here is to get Emil Smith-Rowe. Now I've benched him the previous 2 game weeks, and I've got lucky with him coming on into my team. And just watch, by me starting him for the first time, just watch him blank. This is how FPL works in general. Now, what I don't like here is that Adam Armstrong and Livramento are on my bench with quite a nice fixture, but I just don't know who to bench for them. I've seen Cancelo and your Man City defenders on a lot of benches this game week, but I quite fancy Man City against Man United this game week. I do feel like they'll want to prove a point, just like Liverpool did. And I'm sure they'll want to outdo Liverpool in that 5-0 victory. Cancelo did get 3 assists last night, and I expect him to start again this game week. My only issue is that, although Gundogan is the captain of Man City, he did play the entire game last night, and I will be looking to move him on this game week. Now, the big thing that happened last night was that Roberto Firmino went off injured for Liverpool, which now means that Diogo Jota becomes an option yet again, and I didn't even think about getting him in. But after the next game week, we'll be moving into an international break, which should be enough time for Firmino to come back if it's not that big of an injury. I do know in the Southampton team, Broja is back in training, which means Adam Armstrong and his position is now not nailed again. But I do think he'll start this game week. So if I'm setting up this team, just because I don't think Gundogan will feature, or I don't want him to come off the bench for a 1-pointer, I may just start Adam Armstrong ahead of him. So I think this will be the bus team for the game week. And now we'll move on to talking about a transfer strategy. So the first thing that I want to look at is the team I would like to have eventually. And by eventually, I mean within the next game week or 2 or 3 at the maximum. So I've got 1.8 in the bank, 2 free transfers available. And the first name that I want in my team currently is this man right here, Reece James. Now, he had a 21-point haul in Game Week 10. And my only issue with Reece James is that he is very likely, when not starting a game, to come on as a sub, and you'll end up getting a 1-pointer. Let's have a look at his history this season. Okay, let's have a look at from Game Week 6. So he played 28 minutes by coming into the game. I can't actually remember if he started this game and went off. Or is this the game he had the red card? I don't actually remember. But yeah, looking at Game Week 8, he came on for a minute to get 1 point yet again. And then Game Week 9 and Game Week 10, he started both games getting 13 points and 21 points respectively. If you hear a bit of background noise, I do apologize for that. There's a bit of construction going on opposite where I currently live, so nothing much I can do about that. But I do apologize if you do hear any background noise. So Reece James is a target. Now, what do? I do think he will feature this game week, as he didn't play at all in the Champions League. And with their fixture against Burnley, I will be looking to get rid of Christensen for James. Now, do we want 2 Chelsea defenders in the long run? Even with a bad run of games, I mean, is it bad? You've got Burnley, Leicester, Man United, Watford, West Ham, Leeds. I mean, at this very moment, I would say their run is relatively okay, until you get to Game Week 21, which will see them play against Liverpool and Man City. So I'm quite comfortable getting both Reece James and Chilwell. And if I do think that Reece James will get benched and come off the bench every now and then, I'd be comfortable benching him, because I do have a squad that's quite capable of starting for me and delivering some value, you know. So I'll be looking at getting Reece James. Another transfer I will be looking at, with Lukaku coming back from injury, I will be getting rid of Havertz for Son. Up top, I'll finally be getting rid of Adam Armstrong from Bumu. Oh, what is happening? You already have... Oh no, sorry. I meant Broja. And Gundogan will make way for Mbumu. I'm still not sure how to pronounce the guy's name properly. So if you do know the correct pronunciation, do let me know in the comment section below. Now, in making these moves, I am left with 1.4 in the bank. And if Spurs do kick on under Conte and Son and Kane start firing, that means I have enough in the bank to go from Vardy to Kane. With 12.1 in the bank, I have the exact money to get Kane. So how many transfers did I make in getting the ideal team in my opinion? So I've brought in Reece James, that's 1, Son 2, Mbumu 3, Kane 4, Broja 5. So over the next 2 game weeks, I could be looking at taking just a -4. Is it a -4? No, sorry, a -8. So maybe not the next 2 game weeks. Within the next 3 game weeks, I may be looking at getting this team. As from Gameweek 12, my ideal replacements will be getting both Son and Kane in. And I will be using Gameweek 11 to have a look at how they're both performing. So we'll first be having a first look at how the Spurs team will go out tonight. Conte will take charge in his first game in the Conference League, I think it is. Or is it Europa? I don't even know. But yeah, we'll be looking at Spurs tonight for the first time. And we'll see how they set up. There's a lot of chats about Son playing a wingback role, which wouldn't be ideal. But there were rumors that Conte played a 3-5-2 formation, 11v11 in training the other day. So if Spurs do line up by going with 2 up top, getting Son in is a no-brainer. And maybe Kane will be dropping back a bit by dropping into that number 10 position, or he could be the out-and-out striker with Son playing behind him. So I do have enough money in the bank to get this squad, but that means no player can increase in price between now and then, which is very unlikely. So I may have to start making some early transfers, which I hate doing. Like we've seen last night, there's always a chance that you have a player that may get injured. And I'm sure some of you may have even gotten rid of Jota before the game last night, and now you know that Jota will definitely be starting this game week, with Firmino possibly ruled out, but we'll wait to hear from Jurgen on that. So yeah, this would likely be my team in the next few game weeks, but for this game week specifically, I have 2 transfers available. So what am I likely to do? So this was the team. Let's make sure. Oh no, Boom needs to go for Gundogan. So 2 free transfers available, and I was looking at just using 1 transfer this game week. I could go straight from Christensen to James. And I could start Adam Armstrong over Gundogan this game week, which is quite decent. I don't want to get rid of Havertz just yet because it's quite a tasty fixture against Burnley, and he is a captaincy option yet again. But with Gundogan playing 90 minutes last night, I think I'm very likely to move him on to Mbumu. Which will mean I have 2.6 in the bank, so that after having a look at Son and Spurs in general, in Gameweek 12, I'll be looking at getting rid of Havertz for Son. Make sure. Yeah, and this looks quite good. So I think the team is quite nicely set up for the next 2 game weeks. And if we're talking about captaincy, it has to be Mo again, right? Sure, there are options with Vardy against Leeds. Let's have a look at, just the team and the fixtures. So yeah, we have Vardy against Leeds, Havertz against Burnley, both home fixtures. Smith Rowe doing quite well as well for the Arsenal team. Mbumu coming in, and he will be having a home game against Norwich as well. If you want to go crazy maverick, that's the captaincy option. But in talking about captaincy, I just want to show you this tweet that I just saw recently on Twitter from Late Riser. So this is a mate of mine, Pranil, also known as Late Riser, who I'm sure some of you may know. He's quite a decent FPL manager himself and has finished in the top 100 twice in 3 seasons or something crazy like that. Anyway, he put out this tweet as a reminder with regards to captaincy, and it's quite a good reminder to myself as well that Mo Salah, the king, is just simply out of this world at the moment, and he's ranked first in 6 out of the 7 categories listed here. Expected goals, non-penalty expected goals, shots in the box, shots, big chances, and big chances created. So if you're considering going against Mo for captaincy, do take this in consideration. If I'm being honest, I'd be scared, especially since Liverpool and Salah plays last this game week. Mo will 100% be my captain in Gameweek 11. So that rounds up the video. Send me your questions in the comment section below, subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you're enjoying the content here, please like the video and let me know in the comments as well. Good luck for Gameweek 11 everyone, and remember to FPL responsibly.